Dear brothers and sisters, let us continue the book reading Voice Real written by Babuji Maharaj, chapter Desperate Resolve. The disturbed state of mind is more often due to the tyranny of one's own heart and to a brooding nature. A habit once formed and strengthened by the force of will is usually most difficult to overcome. Sometimes it gradually drifts man down to the lowest level of degradation. I again request you to try to extricate yourself from it by taking refuge in the lap of one who is ever ready to take you in his embrace. No doubt, on occasions you do feel inwardly inclined to it, but then there is one thing wanting still, and it is a firm and desperate resolve. That is not very difficult. If undertaken in the right way, it is perhaps the easiest. Almost everyone is eager for it in some way or the other. To speak of myself, I would say that I never felt concerned with it, though to an outer view it may have been a mistake on my part, but this was due to my peculiar nature. I ever remained a blind devotee of him whom I took to be my everything, and never bothered about what might be right or wrong. Everything was absorbed in my thought of him and him alone. As for the worship of gods and deities, I never stood in need of them, nor do I even now. I wanted to secure my approach up to him, and my end similar to his. Nothing else did I crave for. Here, Babuji Maharaj is saying us about the desperate resolve. What is the main cause for the disturbed state of our mind is the tyranny of our own heart and also its brooding nature. Because when we start brooding over the different things, or if our heart desires to acquire some or the other things, then it starts brooding over those things. Because of that only, our state of mind get disturbed. And if this habit, it has formed once and strengthened by the force of our own will, it is very difficult to overcome that state of condition. Sometimes even it gradually drifts us down to the lowest level of degradation, because always we are dwelling in the different activities of our mind. That is totally, we will be in a disturbed condition, and we will be thinking about different things, and we make ourselves the most restless. This everything is because of our desires in our heart. So Babuji Maharaj is saying that he is requesting all of us to try to extricate ourselves from this habit by taking a refuge in the lap of one who is ever ready to take us in his embrace. It is nothing but our beloved Master Babuji Maharaj, and we should take shelter in his lap. No doubt, On some occasions, we feel inwardly inclined to it. That is, to be in the lap of the Divine Master. But what happens? There is something which is needed to strengthen it or to make us permanently to reside there. What is that thing? That is a firm and desperate resolve. If we fix our goal firmly and want to achieve that during this lifetime only, then firm and desperate resolve is needed. And of course, Babaji Maharaj is saying that it is not very difficult. If we undertake it in a right way, it is perhaps the easiest thing. And everybody is eager for it to achieve in some way or the other. But Babuji Maharaj is speaking about himself, that he would say that he never felt concerned with it. Though to an outer view it may have been a mistake on his part, but this was due to his peculiar nature. What was that nature? He ever remained a blind devotee to him, that is his master, Lalaji Maharaj, whom he took to be his everything, and never bothered about what might be right or wrong. That means he completely dedicated himself to his master and surrendered him to his lotus feet. That's the reason why he never bothered about the right or wrong. And everything he absorbed in his thought of him and him alone. Nothing other than his master. Only his master. Always his master in his thought. And as for the worship of gods and deities, he, Babuji Maharaj, never stood in need of them at all. And nor do even now also. That's what he is saying. So for him, his master Lalaji Maharaj is everything. Once when he accessed his lotus feet, then nothing was needed for him at all. No gods and deities. So Babuji Maharaj wanted to secure his approach up to him, that is his master Lalaji Maharaj, and even he wished that his end should be similar to his only, that is his master Lalaji Maharaj, and nothing else he craved for. See, this is how an abhyasi should be towards his master. This is the live example of dedication, devotion and surrender. So now it is our part to always aspire for Him and Him alone and nothing other than Him. That is our Supreme Master Babuji Maharaj. Let us read further. God had no doubt brought me into existence and had bestowed me with powers and means to go on properly with everything as it is with everybody. But the very things having been spoiled by our wrong handling have become impediments and serve for a veil between the master and the servant. Now all our best efforts for the approach end in a mere tiny chink at the surface of the veil. Going beyond remains forever out of the question. Now who may he be who goes beyond this chink? For me at least it was none but my master. Whom should I therefore be indebted to God or to my master? To me the answer is quite clear, and I owe everything to my master alone. How is this debt to be paid off? The only recourse open to me is to serve you all as best as I can. I sincerely wish you all complete emancipation. But where there is the rose, the thorn is also there. A seeker of roses is never afraid of thorns. Here Babuji Maharaj is saying that God has brought him into this existence, no doubt, and He had bestowed him with powers and means to go on properly with everything as how He bestowed it with everybody. But due to our wrong handling or wrongdoings, those things have been spoiled and it has become impediments and created a veil between master and the servant, that is God and we human beings. And with all the efforts we human beings are trying to approach that end, being in this outer veil, just peeping ourselves from that tiny chink. Going beyond that remains for us an out of question. Then who has to take us to that inner core, or who has to take us beyond that chink? It is none other than Supreme Master. For Babuji Maharaj, Lalaji Maharaj was the Supreme Master who has taken him beyond this chink. So, Babuji Maharaj is asking us that to whom he should be therefore indebted to, either to God or to his master. According to Babuji Maharaj, the answer is quite clear that he owes everything to his master alone, because he has given the access up to that level. That is, he has taken him up to that level. So then Babuji Maharaj is questioning us, how is this debt to be paid off? How I should return my master's debt? For that, he is telling a beautiful solution. The only recourse open to him is to serve all of us as best as he can. See, this is the way of paying off his master's debt. And he sincerely wish all of us complete emancipation. And he is telling that where there is the rose, the thorn is also there. Yes, true. And for a seeker of roses is never afraid of thorns. So if we want to pluck the rose from that tree, we should never be afraid of the thorns. Similarly, if we want to achieve our goal, that is the state of our Supreme Master, then we should never be afraid of the obstacles or difficulties that may come in our way. So, dear brethren, let us have iron will, unfailing will to achieve our goal until we reach our destiny. Let us not rest. With this, I would like to conclude today's satsang. Let us know more aspects in the forthcoming satsang. Till then, I take leave. Pranams. Namaste.